Hi and welcome back to Alistair Davies Golf. I'm here today at the Forest of Arden filming you a clip on the slice shot. So what I want to talk to you today about with the slice shot is basically the process of change. So the slice shot is probably the most commonly shot hit by golfers in the world. You know, the average handicap for golfers in the world is around 20, and the average shot we'd see would be slices as coaches. Now obviously I coach a lot of good players, I'm very lucky, and they have different kind of faults. Sometimes they will have too much draw flight or too much hook flight, if you like. So the good players tend to suffer more with hooks and draws, and the higher handicappers suffer more with too much left to right curvature and contact issues. So today's all about how we can reduce the slice shot and the process of change that I would recommend you do. So the slice shot basically is caused, if we talk purely at impact, of cutting across the golf ball and the club face opening up through impact. And the differential between the path and face causes a curvature. It's what we call a non-square impact. And when we get a non-square impact, that creates curve in the golf ball. It tilts the axis of the ball and makes it move to one side. Contact can obviously affect this also. If we hit the ball in the heel, that would increase the curve. If we hit it in the toe, that would reduce the curve in this case, or even make it want to curve right to left. So contact is also majorly important. I'm going to talk to you today mostly about the path and face relationship and what I would recommend changing first. So if we imagine if we swung across the golf ball and that face was what I'd call square to that path, we would hit a ball that would go straight left. Now every degree that that face would open to that path would create curvature. So for me, the first part of change would be to change that club face relationship, because what that will do will mean you'll hit solid shots down the left hand side of the course, rather than if we change your path first and the face is still open, we're moving the ball and its finishing line further and further right. So it means if your slice finished on the right half of the fairway, now if I move your path and the face relationship stays the same, which there's no reason why it shouldn't, then that ball would now finish in the semi-rough on the right, or even in the trees on the right, which is something I'm sure I would not want to do, and I'm sure you would not want to do. So what I'm trying to do here is give you more golf course to work with first. The second change obviously would be the path change, or we would do both of them at the same time. So how do we change the path? For me, if we imagine we're swinging his head to the left like this, the first thing I would do would be focus on trying to rotate my forearms. And it's very important, it's my forearms, not my wrists. I see a lot of instruction where we talk about, you know, rolling the wrists over. That for me gives us poor control of the ball and poor control of the club face. I want to see the forearms rotate so this elbow points more down towards the golf ball, and then we would feel that the hand is fairly flat, fairly passive. There'll be some extension in it, but I don't want to see excessive extension because that gives us really poor control. I would definitely want to see some rotation in the arm, some rotation in the body, but we're really going to feel that we work this arm and elbow, you know, as much as we can until that golf ball starts going straight down the left hand side, or even with a touch of right to left curvature, becoming what I'd call a pull hook. Now when that happens, then we can start to change the path, and then all of a sudden we have more golf course to work with. And for a path drill, for example, we can do plenty, but one of my favorite ones would be to swing back, hit the ground back here, and swing almost in the direction, almost in this camera. So we're swinging, if you imagine this is 12 o'clock, I'm swinging kind of at 3 o'clock. And I'm trying to make a divot mark, or today in the dewy grass, a line in the grass that would represent that direction. And that would give me the correct feels for swinging that direction to change my path. But I would definitely want to do the club face first. So let's have a go at a shot where I'm trying to work that club face. I'm also going to try and swing across the ball to demonstrate what I see out there. So I'm going to try and hit this ball kind of straight down the left-hand side. So I'm going to try and come over the top and then release my forearms correctly. So let's have a go. Not a bad effort. So that one I've actually turned over a fraction right to left, but I pulled it left with a turnover of the ball as well, so like a pull hook, even though the amount of curvature was only small. But that would be the first port of call. Now in doing that, what you're going to do, you're going to match up the face and path much more, which gives you more distance. You get less what we call oblique, less mismatch in the face and path. So you're going to start hitting lower shots, more direct shots, but they will go left. Now the next change, as we said, then would be path. So once we've got that to some semblance of consistency, then we'd want to work into our path fashion, where we start to swing, as I said, brush the ground, take a divot, where we're feeling this. And obviously our right side is much lower than my left side, so I'm getting this kind of right side bend in order to get this path this way. I still want the release of the arms to happen, okay? We have to release body and arms ideally, but if you haven't got a release at the moment, no problem feeling it a little bit with your arms. So once I've got that feeler patterned, I then would want to go to the shot and feel I'm going to produce that on the golf ball. So that one there would be typical of what I'd see. That was a slight push. Okay, again, I got the path more from the inside. I didn't quite get enough release. Now, if I released more on that one, that would have had a draw flight and finished nearer to the middle of the fairway, in this case, because I'm not going at the green. So that would be the order in which I'd change. Let's try and change the face first, and then once we've changed the face, then work on to changing the path. That way you'll have more golf course to work in, you'll lose less balls, and your scores will improve gradually. Now, you can change both at the same time, but that takes more skill. So if you feel you're very skillful, you can start to do the same practice swing for the path, but at the same time feel that release. And then try a shot. And that would be changing both at the same time. As I said, more difficult. You need to be more skilled to do that. But some players will do that easier than changing one at a time. I have no problem if you do that. The main thing is understanding with a slice shot that your face and path aren't matched, and we're trying to make them more matched, and ideally we're trying to cut across the golf ball less as you go forward to mean you have more direct hits, less oblique strikes, more power, more control, straighter golf shots, lower scores. So hope you've enjoyed this video on the slice shot. If you have, please click like down below. Really appreciate if you could do that for me. Also tell me what videos you want to hear from me in the future. I'll make sure I come back to you with videos that are appropriate to you and videos you're going to enjoy. Also, please subscribe if you haven't. I have regular content every week on a variety of subjects. Subscribing means you get all the notifications and all the videos for free. So, hope to see you again here soon. Thank you for watching. Happy golfing.